It has been a busy start to 2025 with lots of new exciting running shoes turning up at Run4Adventure HQ from lots of different brands, and we've had a good mix of road and trail running shoes. This obviously means that I spend a lot of time running in lots of different shoes, and it really depends on how much I like the fit, feel and performance on how many miles I'm going to run in that particular shoe. So what I thought I'd do today is run you through my current running shoe rotation. So these are shoes that I'm reaching for when I haven't got a new pair on my feet that I'm testing out for an up and coming review. So let's dive into the video and find out what I'm picking for my rotation. Hi folks, welcome back and thanks for tuning in again. I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run4Adventure, and I am happy to inform you that recovery still continues to head in the right direction, and that injury to my left hamstring seems to get better with every run, and I feel like I'm getting some fitness back in my old legs. So that's a good thing, especially considering myself and Liga are going to be ramping the miles up soon as we prepare for an exciting race that we're both going to be running later in the year. But there'll be more to come on that on the channel soon. But let's get back to my current running shoe rotation, and we're going to start with my options for sort of light trails. So these are shoes I've been spending a lot of time in when I'm just heading out for a steady trail run. So nothing too long in distance, and the majority of the run is going to be on dry compacted trails, footpaths, and maybe crossing over to a bit of road here and there. And the first shoe is Topo Athletics Ultraventure 4, and I've really been enjoying this shoe for that type of run, and I just find it very easy to run in. And what I mean by that is I put them on, I lace them up, I head out the door, I hit the trails, and I don't really give the shoes a lot of thought, and just seems that everything works really well for me. I like the nice roomy toe box feel I get from Topo Athletics' anatomical foot shape design, while still providing me with a nice secure lockdown around my midfoot and a good hold in the heel. The zip foam in that midsole construction seems to provide me with the perfect balance of comfort, protection and stability, and it really does handle those more compacted, drier trails really well, while still providing me with plenty of comfort when I pick up any sections of road along the way. It actually been a while since I tested out any running shoes from the Topo Athletic brand on the channel, but I'm really glad I went for it and tested out the Ultraventure 4s, or else I wouldn't have discovered them, and they really have become one of my go-to trail running shoes. Also, for those sort of steady trail runs, I've been enjoying the New Balance FuelCell Venym. Again, another trail shoe that I hadn't clocked up any miles in for a long time, and I really had forgotten how exciting and how much fun you have running in these. Again, it performs really well on those drier, more compacted trails, and I was heading out the door a few weeks ago. I saw them sitting there all lonely on the shoe rack, so I popped them on, hit the trails, and I had a great run. I love the lightweight feel of them, weighing in at only 279 grams in a UK 10, and this upper construction seems to work really well for my foot shape, and it does remind me of a New Balance road shoe that I really enjoy running in, and that is the FuelCell Rebel V5, and it doesn't really surprise me because quite a few things do cross over between the two models, and then you pair all of that up with this very soft, bouncy FuelCell compound in the midsole, and you've got a real sort of fun, lively trail running shoe. For me, the only thing that slightly lets it down is this very soft foam in the midsole can feel quite unstable when you're running on technical trails. So I always make sure the route I'm running is going to be on nice, well-trodden trails or compacted paths when I'm lacing these up. Moving on to my road running choices, and this is actually a shoe that's been in my running rotation for some time now, and it is Saucony's Kinvara Pro. Now, this was a shoe that I enjoyed straight away as soon as I laced it up, straight out of the box, and I've enjoyed it ever since. And I've got to be honest, it came as a bit of a surprise when I tested them out on the channel, because I really didn't understand where Saucony were going with the Kinvara model or what they were trying to achieve with a Pro version. And if I'm honest, I still don't understand now, but I do really enjoy running in them. Now, they're not the lightest road shoe in the world, weighing in at 302 grams in a UK 9.5, and when they were released here in the UK, they retail for a hefty £200, and you've got this crazy deep stack height of cushioning in the midsole, but I do really enjoy them, and even though I spend a lot of my running time out on the beautiful trails of Cornwall, whenever I'm heading out for a road run, I tend to reach for these because everything about the Kinvara Pro just seems to work well for me and my foot shape. I find the upper lightweight and highly breathable, and like most Saucony shoes, it seems to offer my foot shape a nice secure lockdown around the midfoot and a good hold in the heel. And then that's paired up with this dual compound midsole. So we've got a top layer of Saucony's Performance Foam Power Run PB and a bottom layer of their standard Power Run. And I think this midsole setup really does give you that perfect blend of comfort, performance and stability. Feels like it's returning lots of energy, and I actually think this is one of the best midsole constructions on any of the Saucony road shoes, and that's including the Endorphin Speed and the Endorphin Pro. And then finishing up, we've got Saucony's brilliant Speed Roll technology. So you've got this nice rocker geometry that makes it a nice smooth transition to toe off and also feels very efficient. For me, if I could only pick one pair of shoes to do all my road running in, it would probably be these, because I think the Kinvara Pro is a really good all-rounder that can pretty much handle every element of my road run training. But for the next shoe, we are heading back out to the trails, and these are shoes that I'm going to be putting on if I think we're going to be heading out on a route that's going to be very wet and very muddy. So they're going to provide me with a nice grippy, luggy outsole that's hopefully going to keep me on my feet. I've actually been rotating between two different pairs of shoes for this type of sort of muddy run, and the first one is Merrell's MTL Long Sky 2 Matryx. Now, if you've been following the channel for any period of time, you'll know that I'm a big fan of Merrell's Agility Peak 5, and I think that's a great all-round trail running shoe. So when I first saw these, I thought they might be a bit too stripped back for me, because I do like a bit of cushioning in the midsole of my trail running shoes, and you can actually see from this that there's not a lot of depth of cushioning there, but I was actually really surprised with how comfortable this Float Pro foam midsole was out on that first run, and actually offered me a nice level of underfoot comfort. I found the weight to be another bonus, so weighing in at only 261 grams in a UK 9.5, it did mean the Long Sky felt very nimble and very responsive whenever I picked up the pace on the trails. And also, because you haven't got that deep stack of cushioning in the midsole, you feel super connected and it offers great ground feel. And I really do think they're a good option if you're looking for that nice, light, responsive trail running shoe and you want to move quickly over technical terrain up to distances of say 50k, especially if the route is going to be very wet and muddy, because on the bottom it is clad with a nice chunky 5mm lug Vibram Mega Grip rubber outsole that's going to give you consistent traction and offer you great levels of grip. And then lastly, when it comes to my current running shoe rotation, it is INOV8's new Trailtalon. Now, this is another trail shoe for me that handles those tough UK winter conditions really well. What with this greatly improved G-Grip graphene rubber outsole with its nice chunky 6mm lug design, really does grip and offer great levels of traction. And when I took these out for their long run test, I headed out onto a real tough, challenging section of coast path. And in fact, it was the same section of coast path that I fell over on a couple of weeks ago, damaged my hamstring, running in the Asics shoe, which really struggled for traction, whereas there was no slipping and sliding going on out there in these, and I actually felt very confident in my footing. Okay, they're not the lightest trail running shoe I own, weighing in at 331 grams in a UK 10, but it's a pretty well balanced shoe, so they don't run heavy or anything like that. Obviously, we have INOV8's new anatomical foot shape design, so that feels great, having all that nice wiggle room up front. And if you have followed the channel, you'll know that I was actually a big fan of their Trailfly, so I thought I would get on running in these. And if I'm honest, I think I do still prefer the fit of the Trailfly, just feels a bit more secure around my foot shape, but obviously this time of the year, it's all about grip and traction, and the Trailtalon really is in its element in those muddy, wet conditions. So there you have it, folks, my current running shoe rotation for both the road and for the trail. Now obviously I've gone through those shoes pretty quickly, so if you are interested in finding out any more facts and figures about the shoes that are featured in the video, what I'll do is we filmed a first impressions video for all of them, where I go into the specs and I also break down the constructions in a lot more detail. So what I'll do is I'll link all of those videos in the description below in case you want to check them out in a bit more detail. But if you do have any questions at all, please feel free to get them in the comments below and I'll try and get back to them as soon as possible. We are working on lots of exciting things behind the scenes here at Run4Adventure, and hopefully we can tell you a lot more about them very soon. So watch this space. Also, if you have found it helpful, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe because it really is a big help to the channel. But for now guys, thanks for watching. It's really appreciated. We'll be back here soon with some more interesting running content. And as always, stay safe and keep on running. And that is the Rebel V5, and it doesn't surprise me because quite a few things do cross over between the two shoes. And then when you pair that upper up, this obviously means that I spend a lot of time running in lots of different shoes, and it really depends on how I like the fit, feel and performance on how many running